Buyer remorse. In simple terms, it is a feeling when you are not sure if you purchased the right home at the right price. Sometimes it can be a short-living feel of a knot in your stomach after submitting an offer, or a sleepless night after your offer is accepted. In some severe cases, this feeling is so strong that buyers want to cancel the transaction or put the home back on the market as soon as they close the deal. One of my colleagues recently told me a story. She had a $2 million listing, got 8 offers after the first weekend of open houses. The top offer was $250,000 above the asking price and did not have any contingencies. The seller was happy to accept it, but the problem started almost immediately. First, the buyer started to ask more questions about the condition of the property, demanded to include TVs with the sale. Then, the buyer said that they have travel plans and requested to delay the closing for 30 days, 60 days closing instead of the original 30 days. Eventually, the buyers decided to cancel the deal. In cases like this, there are no winners. The seller lost the time and now will be putting home back on the market. The buyers potentially may lose their deposit, 3% of the purchase price. What can you do to prevent yourself from being in this situation? What should you do to avoid it? First, thoroughly research the neighborhood. Everything from schools and libraries to dry cleaners and grocery stores. Go eat at a local restaurant and then visit the open houses. Note the homes that you may consider buying and keep an eye on them. How long are they staying on the market? How much are they selling for? You need to develop a feeling for the home values in the area, so when it is time for you to make an offer, you know what to expect and be comfortable with the possible price range. And when you see a home that you consider writing an offer for, talk to the neighbors, knock on a few doors, and ask them how much they like living there, what kind of problems they experienced with the city services, noise, or anything else. You will be surprised how candid their answers will be and how excited they will be to share. Then, and I'm going in no particular order, set your budget and stick with it. If you are planning to buy a home with a loan, talk to a lender to translate the purchase price you are approved for into monthly payments. This way, it is much easier for you to plan. Set your comfortable price level and absolute maximum level. Know that your max is not the highest number you are approved for. It should be your personal maximum that will allow you to maintain your lifestyle, travel, hobbies, time off, and everything else. Don't get carried away by the bidding wars. Shortage of housing in the Bay Area is persistent. It is a seller's market, and everyone knows it. When you submit your offer, it is common for the seller to ask you to improve it time after time after time, because your competition is willing to go higher. You have to set your upper limit and never cross this threshold. It is better to lose an opportunity than to get stuck in a situation you can't control. Then investigate the house you want to buy. California is a consumer state, and you as a buyer have the right to investigate, and even more investigate. The sellers, in most cases, prepare the disclosure packets in preparation for listing their homes. Read the disclosures and make a list of questions and concerns. Some of the questions may be answered by the seller, like when they remodeled the kitchen, age of the roof, and such. For other concerns, it may be necessary to bring in an expert, for example, foundation and soil engineers, to understand how dangerous are these foundation cracks, or sloping floors, or a masonry contractor to inspect cracks in the chimney. If you are thinking about expanding this home, talk to the city planning department to see what is possible to build on this property, how big of a home you can have, single story versus 2 stories, ADUs, and more. Bring over a contractor to get a rough estimate, price range, for any projects you are contemplating. Don't forget to check insurance availability and price home insurance, especially if the home is in high fire danger area or in a flood zone. Then check the immediate neighborhood conditions, a few blocks around the home. If there are major roads or railroad tracks, come to the house during the peak commute hours and listen to the noise, maybe just from the outside of the home. In one such case, we scheduled a late-night showing with one of our clients. This home was about 100 yards away from Caltrain tracks, and we stayed in the home till 11 p.m. to check how loud the last train was. Our client is a light sleeper, and he ended up buying a different property. And as I mentioned earlier, knock on a few neighbors' doors and ask. Most of them will be glad to talk to their future neighbors and will share their experience. Now, make sure to hire an experienced agent to guide you through the process. Did you know that on average, 42 people are involved with every home sale? It includes the buyers and the sellers, their agents, contractors, lenders, title officers, and more. Your agent will manage all aspects of the buying process, from helping you getting approved for a loan to the close of escrow and getting you moved to your new home. Everything from the lender recommendations to moving boxes. Agents are experienced in not only the contract negotiations, but also in investigating property conditions. It will save you a lot of time if you review the disclosures for the home you consider buying together with your agent. When I read disclosures with my clients, I can point them to the most significant parts of the package and highlight any unusual findings. Is it normal for a home built in 1964 to require termite work priced at $3,500? What if it is $17,000? What does it tell you about the property condition and its maintenance history? If you are going to talk to the city, go to the city together with your agent. Having another person listening to the answers and asking follow-up questions will help you dig deeper and get better answers about the property development potential. When you decide to submit an offer, your agent will help you with the price analysis, will figure out the level of interest in the home, and will guide you through the offer writing process. After all, purchase agreement is a 16-page document, and in addition to the price, has many other terms and conditions you need to select and understand. And finally, trust your feelings. Buying a home is not just a financial transaction. It is an emotional decision. You will have to come there after work, spend time on the weekends. Can you see yourself living there? Will you enjoy having guests over for dinner in this house? Will you feel comfortable in this house, in the backyard? Will you enjoy neighborhood walks? Take other people's advice with a grain of salt. Friends, relatives, co-workers you trust at the end are not going to live in the house. And if your agent tries to influence your decision to buy or not to buy, if your realtor brings up only positive features of the house, you should start looking for another agent. Deciding where to live and where to make your home is a deeply personal decision, and you should feel good about making it. This is Michael Talis with the Talis team. If you are thinking about buying or selling a home within a year, or even 2, let's get together on the phone or on Zoom to review what you need to do to enter the market and to complete a successful purchase or sale. My contact information is in the description of this video. Keep in mind that I'm available in the evenings and on weekends, at the times when you're off work. I'm looking forward to connecting with you. Till next time.